and the Internet Computer Protocol 100X. On this channel, we only cover assets that could potentially provide life-changing returns. And so let's dive into ICP, look at everything that is going on with this asset so we can make an educated decision. So to understand ICP, you have to understand their vision and where we are in history. So it all started with the invention of the computer. Only massive governments and companies could own these huge mainframe, massive computers. Then the personal computer was invented. Everyone could own a personal computer. Then the cloud was invented, and companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google got filthy rich, powering the digital revolution with their huge cloud databases. And so a handful of companies accrued all the value for the cloud computing revolution, right? Personal computers aren't as powerful as the cloud. Big companies are the only entities that had enough money to provide cloud infrastructure. That's why we saw big tech really skyrocket. It's the cloud computing infrastructure because compute is the currency of the world. If you want high quality artificial intelligence, you need an almost infinite amount of computational power, right? Well, what is the next evolution? It's the world computer. It is the most powerful cloud computer on the planet that's dispersed geographically, that isn't part of any one company, that is decentralized. And everyone can own a stake in this massive supercomputer just by owning the software that's linked to it. That is the vision of ICP, to become a world computer. The only way to make this happen decentralized is via blockchain. Otherwise, we have to buy a few companies that control some data centers located in certain regions. But with decentralization, we can own a computer much more powerful than anything Amazon owns, and it can be geographically dispersed and totally decentralized. Again, the world computer. So now we can own a piece of the world computer. That's ICP's vision, all running on a tamper-proof blockchain. So what is ICP? Well, to understand ICP, we have to understand first the team behind ICP. The Dfinity Foundation is a major contributor to the Internet Computer blockchain. They're a Swiss-based not-for-profit organization with the largest research and development team in blockchain. This is true. The largest research and development team in blockchain, bigger than Ethereum, bigger than anything Bitcoin has going for it, bigger than anything almost any other asset you've heard of has going for it. 1,600 plus employee publications, 250 plus patents, 200 plus team members. A lot of these are PhDs, brilliant computer scientists working behind the scenes to create the world computer. Very few other assets have invested billions of dollars in creating a world computer. That's why the world just has to take note of what is going on behind the scenes in ICP. It's unlike any other asset. So the way ICP works is they've created specialized hardware nodes, meaning their own data center hardware that can be plugged in at any data center. And what it will do is provide computational resources to this world computer. And everything that occurs in these computers is attached to the blockchain. It is way too expensive to attach everything we're doing to Bitcoin. It costs tens of thousands of dollars to just put a picture worth of data on top of Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, right? That's the breakthrough of ICP. It is infinitely scalable. It's proven that it can run massive applications like social networks. And so everything with ICP is attached to a tamper-proof blockchain. What problem does this solve? Well, we know we can't hack Bitcoin. We can't hack Ethereum. It is being secured by the network with blockchain. It's cryptographically secure. So imagine not being able to hack an entire company's data operations. How much do companies spend on cybersecurity? They spend trillions of dollars on cybersecurity. It is a massive problem. Why? Because companies keep getting hacked. Well, what if the data is all on a tamper-proof blockchain like ICP? That's decentralized. That is infinitely scalable. Think about the value there. That is a massive problem that ICP is solving. It's unhackable. It's infinitely scalable. No other blockchain on the planet can do this. That's why they spent billions of dollars doing this. That is why their team is massive, right? And so that's all well and good, right? Lots of crypto assets promise good technology. Almost every single crypto asset promises great technology. Is ICP backing it up? But what they're processing right now is 360,000 Ethereum equivalent transactions per second. That is way more than any other blockchain on the planet by a lot, right? Hedera Hashgraph is another blockchain. They're doing like 1,500 transactions per second. This doing 362,000 Ethereum equivalent transactions per second. That is enormous. They're beating almost every other blockchain combined in terms of the transactions they're pushing through. It's going to have more transactions just naturally because of the way it's set up. Solana could not do this if it tried. And the reason ICP is able to do this is because every single transaction that's being powered by these decentralized computers around the world is running on chain. Every single application that is powered by a computer that is on Solana is not pushing through all transactions. So they're just linking up with Solana, triggering a cryptographic transaction, but then all the compute happens offline. It doesn't happen on the world computer because Solana isn't a world computer. Right now, it's just a blockchain layer. So the adoption of Solana is much more significant, but the transactions per second are a lot fewer because less computation is taking place on Solana. So Solana has bigger adoption, but ICP has much better technology. That's where it is right now. Because if every single computational transaction that took place that was part of the Solana ecosystem took place on Solana, it would probably be more than this. However, Solana can't do that. So it can't solve the multi-trillion-dollar problem that ICP can solve. So here are some stats related to ICP. Again, many crypto assets promise good technology. Not many deliver. So let's see, is ICP delivering? Well, let's look at the on-chain data that is all on their website. Internet identities. In order to use ICP, you have to create an internet identity that is verifiably you. So if you use Face ID on your phone and you log into the ICP network nervous system, it's going to recognize you via the biometric on your hardware. Again, this is breakthrough alien technology. How many people have created an internet identity? 2.6 million. How much growth is there? Well, 12 months ago, we had 2.25 million people logging in. Now we have 2.572. So we've grown by over 300,000 people in 1 year signing in to this ecosystem that no one has heard of. Again, it's a world computer. So we're expecting millions and millions of people to do this, but the trend is up and that is very positive, right? Crypto is all about network effects. How big is the network? Well, it's growing pretty significantly at this point. Now, there's so many different factors to look at when evaluating a crypto asset, specifically its tokenomics. So what are the tokenomics of ICP? Well, these node providers around the world that provide the computation and the stakers of ICP get rewarded for doing that. So if you stake your ICP, if you lock it up for any period of 0 to 8 years, you're going to get paid passive income. You won't be able to access your ICP. Let's say you lock it up for 8 years. You won't be able to access your ICP for 8 years, but you'll get paid passive income every single day or every other day at a current rate of like 15% a year. And the node providers are also getting paid passive income. That comes from inflation. We don't want an inflating currency, right? So that's inflation, right? We don't want our assets being too inflationary. Now remember, Bitcoin was extremely inflationary in the early days. When it was in the pennies, it was just kicking off tens of thousands of BTC to its miners all the time, extreme inflation. Did it matter? No. It went from pennies to tens of thousands of dollars. Now the inflation is tapering off with Bitcoin, but inflation early on in a crypto asset isn't necessarily a terrible thing. What makes ICP very special is there is an offset to the inflation. The more development activity that takes place on ICP, the more ICP is burned. So the way the network gets paid when someone wants to launch a website on ICP is the website will have to buy ICP and burn it, meaning take it out of circulation forever, meaning deflate the supply of ICP, shrink the supply of ICP, make it scarcer. So how much development activity is taking place on ICP? How much is being burned? All time, there's been 170,000 ICP burned. Here is the uptrend. Again, the trend is up. It's not as big as we might want it to be, but people are using this network. People are burning ICP consistently. And yes, we have to dive into which companies and which entities are building on top of this world computer. Bitfinity raises $7 million investment for Bitcoin sidechain on the internet computer. So another aspect of the internet computer is that it's a blockchain that can run on top of Bitcoin or Ethereum as a layer two network, right? So if you want to build on top of Bitcoin, it's very hard to do that unless you have a solid, good layer two asset blockchain that runs on top of Bitcoin. ICP does that. This one company raised $7 million to create a Bitcoin sidechain on the internet computer. Bitfinity is pretty massive at this point. That's just one example of building on Bitcoin. So there's many different use cases for this world computer. Guess who else is building on the internet computer? The United Nations, the Knowledge Foundation, and Dfinity join forces. What are they doing with the United Nations? The partnership with the Dfinity Foundation marks a pivotal moment in our efforts to advance digital inclusion and economic empowerment for micro, small, medium-sized entities in Cambodia. This collaboration will not only benefit Cambodian MSMEs, but after the pilot in Cambodia, this project plans to scale to 10 countries. People are sleeping on what is going on in this space. Who else is building on ICP? We have Open Chat. This is a social network with 80,000 plus users. We have Hot or Not, decentralized short form video-based social media platform, 55,000 plus users. We have Bitfinity pushing through 1,000 transactions per second. We have so many different assets building on this world computer. There is adoption. It's just all quietly taking place behind the scenes. Dfinity announces new ICP-powered platform to tackle cyber security. The Dfinity Foundation's new platform, Utopia, promises enhanced security and sovereignty for government and enterprise cloud infrastructures. So I don't know if other blockchains are doing this. I haven't heard of it, but what ICP is doing is creating a private blockchain that entities like countries that don't want to be attached to a public blockchain want to use, right? Like if you're a country, you don't want to be building necessarily on top of Ethereum, you would create your own layer two blockchain. That's what JP Morgan is doing. They're creating a layer two blockchain, a private blockchain that can connect with Ethereum. Well, Dfinity is announcing the ability to do that as well. It's called Utopia. And it's going to give large organizations that want their privacy the ability to build using ICP and ultimately connect to the ICP universe, but it's going to be a private blockchain. And then at the same time, only on ICP can you run AI models as real smart contracts. How powerful is AI? How big is AI? How much compute is required? Again, only ICP can have AI models running as smart contracts on a blockchain because only ICP is that scalable. And the best part of ICP is that it's a governance asset. So for every coin of ICP you hold, you get a voting stake over the entire ecosystem. So think about how valuable a 51% stake is. You can start making some serious decisions in the ecosystem. Now, it would cost billions of dollars to acquire that stake. And the more someone tries to acquire, the higher the price is going to go and the more expensive it's going to get. That keeps it decentralized, but that is very valuable. We want utility in these assets. We want there to be demand for these assets. That is a huge use case. A vote for everything that goes on within this decentralized autonomous organization. So to answer the question of can ICP 50 or 100x, the answer is yes. In July 2021, when the fundamentals weren't even as bullish as they are now, ICP ICO'd at something like $400 to $600 per token. Since they launched at the exact top of the market. Since they launched, ICP has cratered along with the entire crypto market because people don't understand what is going on behind the scenes in some of these crypto assets. So that's called deep value, right? So here's an example of an asset that 100x'd and had a chart that looked like ICP at one point. Here's the chart of Cardano, right? It absolutely skyrocketed. It hit $1 back in 2018. But then it crashed down to a low of 2 cents. What happened after that in 2021? It went from 2 cents or 3 cents to $3, right? So that's 100x. Cardano did not have as bullish fundamentals as ICP has now. It ended up hitting, when it hit $3, it hit a fully diluted market cap of almost $150 billion. And the fundamentals were nowhere near what ICPs are. So ICP can easily hit a market cap of $150 billion if Cardano could back in 2021. But obviously, it's much bigger than that. So can ICP at least make a new all-time high? Yes. That would be $400 per token. That would be a $200 billion market cap. Very feasible. If Cardano could hit 150 billion and do 100x, ICP can easily do a 40x and hit 400 billion. Now, because it is so difficult to compete with ICP, it can absolutely hit $900. That would just be a double from its all-time high, from its previous all-time high. It would have to hit $900 to do a 100x. Is that doable? Yes, because that would give it a market cap of $500 billion, which is very feasible. Once the adoption of this asset comes to light, once money pours into the space, right now we're seeing with crypto is a completely dead market. No one really understands what's going on. Whenever ICP comes out and demonstrates that they can run AI on ICP, when they talk about how they can solve a multi-trillion-dollar cybersecurity problem, the asset pumps, right? That's why in the last year it's gone from $3 up to $17. Now it's coming back down along with the rest of the crypto market. The market doesn't understand what is going on with this space, but can it 100x? Absolutely, 100%. So if you want me to cover any other assets, just let me know. But so much going on with some of these assets.